in this vlog we are going to study about the menstrual cycle. Actually, in the last part which I have sent you video, in that vlog we have studied about the oogenesis, that is the formation of the ovum, how the formation of ova takes place. So in this vlog we are going to study about the menstrual cycle, and this cycle occurs in the female and originates after the 28 days. Means this process is taking within a 28 days of period of time. Okay, so let us see what is this menstrual cycle. This is a phase where when the female gets mature, we can say, that is the age of 10 to 15 years of old. In this era only, in this period only, the menstrual cycle starts in the female. Okay, it only happens when the ovum is not fertilized. Actually, in the oogenesis we have studied, that is the development of the egg in the form of ovum, isn't it? So the development of egg in the form of ovum, that is a process where one ovum is formed in every month, and that is known as the oogenesis. Similarly, during the period of oogenesis, some more changes occurs in the uterus, and due to the secretion of FSH and LH-like hormones. FSH, that is follicular stimulating hormones, and LH, that is the luteinizing hormones. So on the basis of this hormones, there are various changes which occurs along with the oogenesis. So this is a process which takes over during the 28 days, and again the next cycle starts after the 28th day. Okay. So this has been categorized into 14 plus 14, because whatever we have studied in the oogenesis is having the similar part here. Along with that, we are going to see how this menstrual cycle occurs. So if we are talking about the 28 days of this menstrual cycle, or periodically, which is occurring after every 28th day of the month, then we can see that this has been divided into 14 plus 14, because within the 14th day, if we will count from the first day, then from the 14th day, what will happen? The formation of ovum gets complete, and the ovum gets released from the ovary. Okay, and in the next 14, various changes occurs in the uterus, and finally on the 28th day, the uterus wall becomes thick, and we are knowing that inner wall of the uterus is the endometrium. There the blood vessels, the glandular cells, and the glands break down, and there is a oozing out of a mucus substance which lasts longer for 3 to 5 days. There is a release of mucus after the 28th day, which lasts longer for 3 to 5 days. There is a continuous release, and that is a menstrual cycle actually which is taking place, okay, due to the breakdown of the inner layer of the uterus, that is the endometrium. And in this way we can say the counting start from the first, second, third, as I've told you, last longer still in 3 to 5 days. So in this way the counting will go on till the 28th day, and whatever within this 28 days, whatever changes has to occur, that will occur, and finally again the slashing out of the endometrium will take place, and again the same process will be there, that is the oozing out of the mucus. Okay, so let us see first, as I have told you in the brief. Right now we will go in the detail what is this menstrual cycle and how it is occurring step by step. Okay, it is having various phases also. So let us see first what is the menstrual cycle. See, menstrual cycle, as the point is here, menstrual cycle begins at puberty at the age of 10 to 15 years and goes till the age of 45 to 55 years. When a person becomes old, we are talking about the female. So if the female becomes old, that is the age of 45 to 55 years, the body is completely deteriorated, and in this way, we can say the organs becomes weak, and the person is unable to do its activity means frankly, or we can say smoothly. In that case, that is the age of 45 to 55 years, and the body loses the ability for the menstrual cycle, and even though there is no formation of the ovum further. Okay, next point we can see here, this cyclical changes occurs with a periodicity of about 28 days. As I have told you, this is a periodicity of the 28 days. Within this 28 days, whatever the changes has to be taken place, that will occur in the uterus, and finally that Finally, what will happen? There will be the breakdown of the uterine wall in the 28 days. Release of mucus will be there, and the same cycle will repeat again. Okay. 28 days with ovulation. Ovulation, that is the release of the ovum, occurring at the middle of the cycle, that is around the 14th day. As I have told you this, within this 28 days, what will happen, that has been categorized, as I am telling you for your knowledge, that is categorized into 14 plus 14. In this way we can understand, because in the first 14th the formation of ovum take place, or oogenesis is there, along with the ovulation. Ovulation, that is the release of ovum from the ovary, that is taking place. Okay. And the main point and the major point is that menstrual cycle will only occur if the ovum is not fertilized. In the case if ovum is fertilized means what? When the ovum will come in contact with the sperm, where it will come? It occurs in the fallopian tube region. We can say yes, obvious in the fallopian tube region where the fertilization take place. So if any mating or any coitus is being done, and what will happen if the ovum is fertilized, then in this case the ovum and the sperm will fertilize to form the zygote, and further embryo development will take place, but no menstrual cycle will occur. So for this menstrual cycle will only occur when the ovum is not fertilized. In this vlog we are going to study about the menstrual cycle. As I have explained in the brief what is this and when it is starting and what is the stopping period of it. One more thing I need to tell you, that when the menstruation starts, that is the age of 10 to 15, where a female gets mature, so that phase is known as the menarche phase, or we can starting of the menstruation means a beginning, where a female gets mature, and in that menstrual cycle begins. That is known as the menarche, whereas the age we have seen 45 to 55, that is the age where the menstrual cycle stops, or ovulation or oogenesis stops there. So that is a phase we are known as that is known as the menopause. Okay, we'll see later on also. First, let us see the phases of the menstrual cycle. First is the menstrual phase. As I have told you, we will count from the beginning. As I have told you that it lasts longer in the 28 day. Right, from the first day to the 28th day. Like that, if we are counting, then we'll start from the first day, second day, third day, like that. So first day, second day, third day, let us begin there with the start of the menstruation. Okay, so that is the menstrual phase or menstrual cycle phase, where the first phase will deal with the release of the mucus, which will last for 3 to 5 days. Then from the 5th day onwards, we'll start the counting for the next phase. So that is the follicular or proliferative phase. I think from the name itself it is clear. The secretion of FSH will take place here in the follicular phase. Okay. Then next is the luteal or secretory phase. This is the third phase, the final phase. Here from the name itself it is clear that the LH, secretion of LH will take place. That is the luteal hormones. Okay. So let us deal one by one. First we'll deal with the menstrual phase. This is a phase where the breakdown of endometrium, that is the inner layer of the uterus, take place, where the blood vessels or the inner lining or epithelial cells or granular cells or glands break down, because it becomes thick in the previous 28 days, that has become thick and has got slashed down. And the counting will start with the release of the mucus, which will last longer for 3 to 5 days, as I have told you before. So the first point is that it lasts for about 3 to 5 days. From the first day counting will take with the breakdown of the endometrium. Next is marked by the breakdown. How this release of mucus takes place? Marked by the breakdown of the mucous membrane. Mucous membrane are there inside the endometrium on the wall of it, and gland from the lining of uterus, means from uterus, inner lining of the uterus. That is the inner lining. We are doing that inside, from inside the uterus is having endometrium layer. So in the wall of the endometrium, this particular things are present. So it will break down. Okay, and after breakdown, definitely the release of mucus will take place. So the last point is that in this menstrual phase, the epithelial lining, connective tissue, what is breaking down, it is telling about that. Tissue and blood vessels get slashed, means broken down, and it will flow. Okay, breaks down and it will flow. Gets slashed off from the endometrium and is released as menstruation. This release of mucus is known as the menstruation phase, which will last long for 3 to 5 days. Okay. Students, now we are going to deal with the follicular or proliferative phase. This is the second phase, that is the follicular phase. In the first phase we have seen, that is the menstruation phase. If we will count from the first day, then from the first day to average of 3 days or maybe till the 5th day, the release of mucus take place. So after that, the phase which occurs, that is the follicular phase, or even though it is also known as the proliferative phase. Okay, because a lot of changes take place in the uterus and proliferation is occurring to maintain that repairing, because as we are knowing that before this phase what happens, slashing out of the mucus takes place. Why? Due to the breakdown of the inner layer, inner membrane of the uterus, that is the endometrium. So breakdown takes place there. So that breakdown has to be maintained so that the next cycle can occur. Okay, so after the breakdown, a new cycle starts with the release of the mucus. Okay, so after the release of the mucus, this endometrium needs to be prepared, needs to be maintained, or needs to be well maintained so that the next cycle can be started, or we can say next even though for the process of ovulation that has to be prepared. Okay, so let us see the first point of it. It lasts for about 9 to 10 days. If we are talking about the follicular, then it will last within the 9 to 10 days it will be completed. It is not the day we are counting, but the duration it will take to complete, that is maybe from 9 to 10 days it will take to complete this cycle. Okay, so it lasts for about 9 to 10 days, as I have told, from the 5th day. Now it is the day counting, as the menstruation phase, that is the release of the mucus, stops, let us take on an average, that is the 5th day. So from that day the counting will start, that is from the 5th day to the 14th day. Okay, that is a period of 9 to 10 days. Okay, so from the 5th day to the 14th day, this is the day counting, this proliferative phase will accomplished, and we are doing that this the middle of this 28 days is divided into 14 to 14. Okay, the first 14, this is the first 14th half where the formation of ovum will take place and the oogenesis. That means, I hope student it is clear to you, that means it is a part of oogenesis, means completely oogenesis is this phase. So along with the oogenesis, some more things we are going to study here. Okay, it begins with the repair of endometrium. Definitely the endometrium, that is the inner membrane of the uterus, that needs to repair because it has completely got slashed out due to the breakdown of the blood vessels or glandular cells, or we can say glands. Okay, so that needs to be repaired up of uterus through the proliferation. So this proliferation means the cell will repair there, the formation of the cell will take place. Okay, so here that phase will be known as the proliferation, where the repair is taking place. So definitely the cells will accumulate there, so that is the proliferation. Next is that is induced by rising level of the hormone, that is the FSH. Here in the follicular phase, the level of FSH will rise up. Okay, that is the follicular stimulating hormone. The rise of the level will take place, and it is very necessary for oogenesis also, that is the formation of ovum, and the level will rise. The level can be seen maximum before the 3 days of ovulation, that is ovulation is release of ovum. Before 3 days of it, the level of this FSH will rise the maximum. Okay, we can say that maturation of primary follicles. Okay, so is induced by the rising level of FSH, which is responsible for the maturation of primary follicle. Okay, as per the FSH is rising, the primary follicle. I hope student you are knowing that what is this primary follicle, because we have studied in the oogenesis that the oocytes are surrounded by the number of cells, and that structure or those number of cells is known as the granulosa cell or the follicular cells. So that primary oocyte is surrounded by number of granulosa cells, and that complete structure is known as the primary follicular structure. So as the number of follicular cells or granulosa cells is surrounding more and more in number to the primary oocytes, that forms a Graafian follicle structure, isn't it? You do remember, I hope so, Graafian follicle structure. So this FSH rise level is helping out that the primary follicle is developing, maturing to form the Graafian follicle structure. Next, if you will see here, next point, that is primary oocyte, and here itself we are knowing that as the formation of the Graafian follicle takes place, we have studied in oogenesis, primary oocytes undergoes the first meiotic to form secondary meiocyte, and we are knowing that as the secondary meiocyte is undergoing the meiosis division, formation of ovum take place, right? So before that, as the meiotic division, primary oocytes undergoes the first meiotic division and is forming the secondary oocyte. Okay, so developing ovarian follicle secretes estrogen. Now here ovarian follicle, that means Graafian follicle is maturing, more number of follicle cells are there, those follicular cells or the granulosa cells are also developing along with the growth of the oocyte, isn't it? So that development is responsible for the secretion of estrogen in the follicular cells. Follicular cells you are knowing very well, so that will secrete now estrogen, that is the another kind of hormones. Okay, let us say its function. It causes thickening of endometrium. It is only responsible with this rise of this, we can see the endometrium is repairing, and that will become thicker and thicker, so that it will get filled with the mucus and all, and finally in the next cycle it will break down. Okay, so this estrogen is responsible for the secretion of for the development of the follicular cells, alright, and causes thickening of the endometrium. Next, estrogen reaches. When the estrogen reaches, as I have told you, FSH can be also rise in the before 3 days of ovulation, we can say the maximum level it is reaching. So here if you will see clearly, then the estrogen rises maximum in level in the before 3 days of ovulation. So this estrogen and FSH rises in level during the oogenesis process, or we can say during the ovulation process. Okay. Student, first 14th that was the first 14th half has been completed. Now it is the period when the next 14 will start. We are knowing that the 14th day of this 28 days, within this 28th day, the 14th day is the last day for the ovulation, right, where the release of ovum take place. So this is the phase that will occur after that. So little bit explanation is here of that also. Luteal or secretory phase. This luteal phase is also known as a secretory phase, okay, which lasts for about 12 to 14 days after the ovulation. It will take 12 to 14 days to finish. That is from the 14th day where the ovulation has taken place, and further it will last longer to the 28th day. It is the days where it will occur, and it is the duration. The duration, time duration, this phase will complete, that is from 12 to 14 days it will take to accomplish this. Next one we can say induced by the secretion of LH, as the topic itself is the luteal phase, we can say, or secretory phase. So here the LH secretion will be there. So as per the LH secretion is there, so it is marked by this. Okay, hence the term is luteal or secretory phase. Now we can see this FSH has also risen, and same here the LH is also rising. So with the FSH and LH rise in level in the middle of the cycle, this there will be rise in level in the middle of the cycle. We are saying that as per FSH, LH is also secreted. So this level has rise in level in the middle of the cycle. Next one, LH surge. As the level of LH will increase, we are talking about the as per the LH will increase, what will happen? Its level is increasing, so it will make the Graafian follicle to burst, means the ovum. Now second meiosis division has been taken place, second meiotic. So the ovum formation has took place, and which is encircled or is surrounded by the Graafian follicle. So with the increased level of the LH, the cells of the Graafian follicle or the granulosa cells will break down. Okay, with the increase in the level of LH, the Graafian cells will break down, and finally the Graafian follicle cells will rupture and the ovum will be released out. Okay, so as per the Graafian follicle is breaking down or the granulosa cell is breaking down, a yellow color body is being formed there by the rupture of the Graafian follicle. That is a different thing. Okay, ovum has been released now, but this structure is formed only by the rupture of the Graafian follicle, and this is yellow color body which is known as the corpus luteum. Okay student, which is known as the corpus luteum, and this is responsible for the secretion of another type of hormone that is termed as progesterone. We will see right now about the progesterone also. Student, as we are doing that, corpus luteum is formed when the Graafian follicle is breaking down, a yellow color substance is being secreted, that is known as the corpus luteum, and that corpus luteum is also responsible for secreting the hormone that is known as the progesterone. Okay, this progesterone, either it will inhibit the hypothalamus gland, giving it signal to relax for the further cycle. That has to be taken place after the 28 days. So that is also functioning as an inhibition of the gland. And whereas another function of the progesterone we will see here. First of all, let us see the point which I have told you right now. Corpus luteum releases the hormone progesterone. This is the hormone which is released by the corpus luteum, causes number of changes in the uterus. Yes, of course there is a number of changes, and we are knowing that as per the days are running, the uterus or the endometrium is also repairing and becoming thicker and thicker. That is getting filled with the mucus. Okay. So let us see here, the endometrium thickens further as it was thickening from early stage itself, from the first day itself we can say, or after the 5th day we can say. So this thickening is continuous and is further for the implantation of the blastocyst. Here students, this blastocyst is a phase which is formed after the formation of zygote. You will little bit you will be shocked here that we are talking that menstruation occurs when the ovum is not fertilized, but we are talking about the blastocyst here. Okay, but I'll make you clear here student that we are in two cases we will study. Even though if the ovum is fertilized, suppose if the ovum is fertilized, so the even though the endometrium needs to be repaired, needs to become thick, so that the implantation of the zygote or the implantation of the blastocyst, which is the phase of the zygote when the division is taking place, that need to be repaired. Okay, endometrium needs to be repaired for the implantation, so that the implanted blastocyst can convert into a new individual, or the embryo formation takes place. We can see that. Okay, and in the another case, this thickening of the endometrium is necessary so that till at the end of the 28th day, this endometrium gets breakdown and the mucus gets released from there. So two cases are there. The endometrium needs to be repaired so that the implantation can take place. Implantation is zygote will get implanted over the uterine wall, that is in the endometrium itself. And another thing is that this endometrium needs to repair, needs to thicken, so that at the end of the 28th day or on the 28th day that gets breakdown, so that the menstruation can occur. I hope this point is clear to you. Next one, progesterone. What is it helping for? It is helping that tubular gland secretes mucus. Yes, that tubular gland is present in the inner membrane of the uterus, that is endometrium. So tubular gland secretes mucus. This only gets released after the breakdown of the endometrium in the 28 days, right? And the endometrium gets fluid filled, so that its thickness becomes more and more. Next we will see, student. See, we are knowing that this progesterone is affecting or is helping out by secretion of or we can say this progesterone is helping in various development, right? This is helping in the development of the uterus also, that is the thickening of the uterus. And as per second function, I have told you that it inhibits the hypothalamus gland so that it stops releasing the GnRH, because this GnRH, that is the gonadotropin releasing hormone, this is facilitating the pituitary gland to release FSH and LH. So if the FSH and LH level will not decrease, what will happen? The follicular cells will develop, and now we don't need that the more number of follicular cells gets developed, but we need that the FSH and LH level should decrease so that this menstruation can occur, and further the uterus prepares for the next cycle. Okay, so the point is here answered is progesterone affects the mammary gland also. Yes, one more thing, that as the we can say that the implantation is taking place. If the implantation is taking place, if the ovum is fertilized in that case, if the implantation is taking place, then what will happen? The mammary gland will also develop, where an individual or the infant used to feed there. Okay, a baby used to feed that mammary gland, so that also needs to develop. So this progesterone is doing for that also. Next is that uterine movements decrease considerably as per the 28th day is closer. So we can see that the uterine thickness has raised to its maximum level, and now that development or that thickness needs to rest now. Now further no thickness should arise. Okay. Next one we can see here. The point is there, progesterone inhibits further maturation of any new follicle. Yes, this point I was telling you, that the further no development of the follicle should take place. So how it will do? It will inhibit the hypothalamus gland, or so that it doesn't secrete gonadotropin releasing hormone. This gonadotropin releasing hormone is controlling the pituitary gland to release FSH and LH. As the hypothalamus gland is inhibited, it will stop secreting GnRH, that is gonadotropin releasing hormone. So it will not stimulate the pituitary gland, and there will be no further secretion of FSH and LH. The level will not rise further, it will decrease. The level will decrease. So if the ovum is not fertilized, then what will happen? Corpus luteum is there. So if it is not fertilized, then corpus luteum will trigger its hormone continuously. It will secrete its hormones continuously, and what will happen? Triggers its ovum own degeneration, or we can say that on this point means that continuously there will be the secretion of progesterone. There will be the increased level of the progesterone. Next, what will happen? At the 28th day, that is the last day, the progesterone level decreases. That needs to decrease in level, right? So that there is no further release of GnRH or FSH or LH. That level has to decrease. So finally, what will happen? The uterine wall will grow, because this is the 28th day. Okay, so at the 28th day, the progesterone level decreases. Hence, yellow body, that is the corpus luteum, that will degenerate and will become white in color. Now corpus luteum will become white in color, and it is forming the another white color body. Yellow color body has turned into white color body, that is known as the corpus albicans. Okay, that is the corpus albicans. Understood? Yellow body now turns into the white color body, forming the corpus albicans. Okay, so in this way we can say that the whole cycle is being completed. Okay, this whole cycle is being completed, and again the breakdown of the endometrium will take place, release of mucus will be there, then again the same process will take place with the repair of the endometrium, and hence this is followed. Okay, I hope student this topic is clear to everyone, because we have studied in the detail. I hope it is understood. Okay, thank you student, have a nice day.